करनायनं भत्यो देवी नमो नमः ओम श्री ईलनन्दपुत्र मुखजीवन सर्वनं श्री हनुमते देवता ज्ञाननं देवतं श्री हं हं हनुमन्तामयं देवतं सर्वगुरुपति देवतं श्री हनुदेवतायनं सर्वगुरुपति नमो नमः ओम हरि ओम कात्यायन वेगमे कन्नकुमारी दिमिहि दं दुर्गा प्रचोदया श्री श्री नव दुर्गा माताय देवी नमो नमः ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमो नमः ओम भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. Thank you.
Let us pray. Let us give thanks to God, our loving Father, for all his gifts so freely bestowed upon us. We continue to thank him for the beauty and wonder of creation, for all that is gracious in the lives of men and women, revealing the image of Christ. We thank him for hearts to love and for minds to think, and for those who are brave and courageous, patient in suffering, and faithful in adversity. And today we give thanks especially for the People's National Movement. We continue to pray for the Honorable Keith Rowley, the political leader, for Joan Williams, the deputy leader, for the chairman, and all the 40 candidates who presented themselves on September the 7th for the general election. We pray that the People's National Movement will continue to uphold those hallmarks of the Christian life. We pray for sincerity, that they will continue to be informed, committed, concerned, tolerant, and transformative to the people of this land. We pray that they will continue to restore the economy. We pray for continued equity and justice, and that every area of national life will be improved for the citizenry of this country. We also pray for free.
Yes, we are here at Etihad Ground, Joshua Hands and Arlene. We are here as the People's National Movement comes to the end, or close to the end, of the campaigning that went over the past few months. We saw many great things happen. We saw Dr. Rowley actually go to different constituencies and sit to speak with the members of the constituencies, hearing their concerns via conversations with Dr. Rowley. Something that has never been done before by any political leader of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, that was certainly something new in Trinidad and Tobago, and something very much welcomed by the people, because it allowed the communication to be more dynamic. Instead of, the traditional public meetings, you go to the politicians stand at the podium and they speak to the audience. With the conversations that Dr. Rowley was having with the certain constituencies, the people were actually getting to interact with him, ask questions. So the audience actually shaped and led the discussion, and that was a very new thing, and something I think should become a permanent fixture when it comes to political campaigning in Trinidad and Tobago.
To me, the part of it that was really impressive is the fact that over the past 5 years, we've seen where leaders have not listened to the people, and to actually have a leader sit and listen and address the concerns in an open forum, not in a forum where he knew what was going to be asked. People asked random questions and he sat there and he answered the questions truthfully, as honestly as he possibly could. Also, I want to commend Dr. Rowley personally for actually going and reaching out to the people by going out to the different radio stations, the young stations, the stations that appeal to a more mature demographic, and speaking to the people, allowing people to call in and say what they have to say, and really express their views on how they feel about him as a leader. And I must say, a lot of people, after those conversations, whether it be in the different constituencies or via the radio programs, they have been converted.
Yes, and you know, the thing is that Dr. Rowley understands that as a leader, it's not all about what you think and what you want. It's about representing the people. You are representing all of the people, and certainly it is important to get the views of different sectors of society. We all have to live on this island together, and we certainly need to know that we are as a government. You're supposed to be meeting the needs of the citizens, not just a section, not just people who look like you, sound like you, have the same interests as you, but all of the people across the length and breadth of the country.
And what's impressive, Monday, we want you all to go out and vote. Vote for these 41 candidates. Very strong, capable leaders representing different industries, representing
I
different,
think right now that we
groups.
need to be going back to stage. We're going back stage side to see what's going on.
All right.
Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and his wife Sharon, Deputy Political Leaders, Mr. Orville London, Tobago Matters, and also Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Mrs. Joan Yule Williams, Party and Election, Mr. Rohan Sinanan, Policy, and also the National Campaign Manager, Ms. Marlene MacDonald, Legislative, other officers of the movement, mayors, chairmen of corporations, and other local government representatives. And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a hearty round of applause for the men and women of the moment, our 41 distinguished candidates who will be the flag bearers of the People's National Movement on Monday. Party supporters, party well-wishers, members of the media, members of the protective services, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, PNM family all, once again, good afternoon. It is a signature honor and privilege for me to welcome each and every one of you here at this final mass rally of the People's National Movement here at the happy stomping ground of the PNM, the Eddie Hart Recreation Ground in Tacarigua. I guarantee you this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, that by the time this rally is finished, this will go down as the largest political gathering in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. My brothers and sisters, we have come to the end of a long and grueling campaign, sometimes a vicious campaign. But at the end of the day, we have done well. Everything has gone according to plan. So now I have no doubt in my mind that come Monday night, the PNM will be victorious in the general election of September 7, 2015. I want to tell you that from the onset of this campaign, the PNM had 4 major objectives in mind. Firstly, to call the UNCPP government to account for their stewardship and to expose all of the corruption, the squandermania, and mismanagement and poor governance that this administration has levied on Trinidad and Tobago. Secondly, our objective was to articulate in detail PNM's plans, policies, and vision for Trinidad and Tobago. Thirdly, we were to present to you a slate of 41 candidates of integrity, trust, and commitment. A slate that represents a mixture of experience and freshness, gender and ethnic equality. A slate, ladies and gentlemen, that truly represents all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, our 4th objective was to prove to the national population, without a shadow of a doubt, that Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley is the most qualified person to hold the position of Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I say here this afternoon that we have accomplished all 4 objectives. Hence, victory is assured. To our supporters, well-wishers, and to all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, I want to thank you most sincerely for the support and faith that you have showed in our party, the People's National Movement. and especially the faith you have shown in our political leader, Dr. Keith Rowley, as he journeys to become the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. As I have said before, this rally will go down in history as the largest political gathering in Trinidad and Tobago. But my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, let me caution you. Elections are not won with mass rallies, nor with large political meetings, nor with aggressive media campaign. Elections are won on election day. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, there is a saying, drunk or sober, mind your business. Let me repeat that. Drunk or sober, mind your business. I want you to thoroughly enjoy yourself today and later on tonight. Have fun. Bask in the euphoria of this new PNM high. This feel-good feeling that the PNM has now regained its rightful position in the politics of Trinidad and Tobago. But tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, get up in a pensive and prayerful mood. Go to church and think about the future of Trinidad and Tobago, the future of your children and your grandchildren. Think about the dismal future if this country votes back the UNC into government. And then think about the bright and pleasant future you will have under the People's National Movement and the leadership of our next Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. To those directly involved in the campaign and the election day machinery, make sure it is well oiled and well greased. Leave nothing to chance. Pay attention to every minor detail because it all boils down to that day. And on election day, my brothers and sisters, May the 7th, September 2015, get up early, say your prayers. You, your family, your friends, and your neighbors, go out and cast your vote for the People's National Movement. Put your X by the balize. And after you have done that, you can say, thank you, Jesus. Oh Allah, oh Akbar. Oh Ram, Ram. Oh praise Jah. Doesn't matter what you say. Because you would have finally saved Trinidad and Tobago from disaster. So on the night of September 7th, as we declare victory in Balize House, from the four corners of Trinidad and Tobago, from Toko Matlock, to Mayaro Guayguayari, to Cedras Icacos, to Point Cumana and Caranash, and across in Tobago from Scarborough to Roxborough, and from Roxborough to Charlottesville, we will chant and say the song of the PNM. Great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail. And ladies and gentlemen, we have saved Trinidad and Tobago.
Shall prevail. So go out and vote Monday, September 7th, just a mere 2 days away. Head to the polls in your respective constituencies and vote, vote, vote. One thing that Franklin can also emphasize on is the mix of gender within the PNM. And we know the PNM has truly embraced the women of Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Hans, PNM has traditionally been a party that is an equal opportunity party. The PNM has been known to field candidates of both genders, young, old, experienced, not so experienced, but always very qualified to take up the mantle of leadership in Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to make special mention of the Women's Forum that was held last week. Oh my goodness, people can't stop talking about that Women's Forum. It was a powerful showing of the women of the People's National Movement. And certainly every single one of them who spoke that night stood out. But especially the People's National Movement seems to have a new shiro, as they're calling her, in the person of Shamfa Kojo from Tobago. The Women's Forum, people came out in their numbers, men and women, and the women of the People's National Movement represented. And they made it clear to Trinidad and Tobago why we need to return to the governance of the People's National Movement. And Shamfa Kojo certainly brought that message home to us.
And in the People's National Movement, you see even within the females within the party, you see that mix of new candidates like Shamfa Kojo
Yes, yes.
and obviously Dr. Nian Gadsby Dolly.
Yes.
You see these new candidates, even Sarah Badu.
And they're all holding their own, and they're all holding their own in their constituency. They had already distinguished themselves as potential leaders in their constituencies, and that is why when screened they were accepted by the party, and now they are distinguishing themselves on the national scale, showing the people of Trinidad and Tobago that a PNM administration, with each and every one of them as members of parliament, will certainly do their best to bring good governance back to Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, well, we're getting ready to hit the stage, and just before we hit the stage, I just want to say that it was a great sight to see these young candidates also be able to stand their own
All
among
very exciting.
Camille Robinson, Regis, and Marlene McDonald, these women that we know and their experience. Right now we are to the stage, and we actually have a former MP.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are to the stage where a former MP is actually going to introduce the candidates. Christine Kangaloo, she's making her way on stage right now. Let's head to the stage.
You'll never have to cry. No, I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. She's royal, yeah, so royal. I want her in my
PNM Eddie Hart Posse. How you feeling? Are you feeling the feeling? Are you feeling the momentum? Are you feeling the upsurge? Are you feeling the swing? Are you feeling the power? And are you feeling the victory? There will be a mighty victory on Monday, my dear friends. And the soldiers who will lead us into this glorious battle are 41 in number. Our opponents come to the people in the name of one woman, but the PNM comes to the people in the name of 41 candidates. On Monday night, in the name of 41 candidates, the PNM will deliver Trinidad and Tobago from despair and tribulation into a new day of hope and rejoicing. And on Monday night, because of our 41 soldiers, we will hear the loud voice of a great multitude in heaven saying, hallelujah, salvation has come to Trinidad and Tobago. And so, let us meet the first group of our brave and fearless 41 soldiers. Our first soldier is a man with a vision for San Fernando. His vision is for the city of San Fernando to become self-reliant through the building of strong and supportive community networks. He is an attorney at law and a businessman. He's a past student of Presentation College San Fernando. He is the PNM standard bearer for the great constituency of San Fernando East. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you its soldier in the constituency of San Fernando East, Mr. Randall Mitchell. This next PNM soldier hails from Faizabad. She completed her secondary school education at Holy Name Convent, Cuba. She has a vision for the constituency of Faizabad to work with all persons in the various communities to ensure that every constituent is represented with respect and equality, and that each person has equal access to all services, facilities, and opportunities. She is determined and is committed to using her skills and experiences to bring meaningful representation to the constituents of Faizabad. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you University of Faizabad, Miss Marsha Bailey. Our next in this group of soldiers is the proud father of 2 children. He attended the Picton Primary School and then Astra Boys College in San Fernando. In 1999, he started his career with the Classic Touch Barber and Beauty Shop. He made the bold decision to cut his own pathway and opened his own shop in 2005. He is actively involved in community affairs in central Trinidad. He's an active member of the renowned Down Village Ramlila organization. He is a live wire in the political sphere, holding the position of vice chairman of his party group. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you its soldier for the constituency of Couva South, the affable Mr. Alif Mohammed. Our next soldier is someone whom I am proud to say I know personally. This son of the South is a business executive who has led his family's popular retail furniture and appliance business since 1997. A former student of Naparima College, he earned his pilot's license in 1995 and has since logged countless hours in his more than 23 years experience in the pilot's chair. In 1997, he successfully completed a degree in law at the University of Wolverhampton. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you, and I commend him, the soldier for the constituency of Pointe-à-Pierre, Mr. Neil Mohammed. Our next soldier is a resident of Palmy, San Fernando. He began his education in the TML Primary School. He later undertook his secondary education at St. Benedict's College, La Romaine. He continued his tertiary level education in the United Kingdom. He is a man devoted to youth development and poverty alleviation. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you its soldier for the constituency of Oropuchis, Mr. Terry Sean Jadunanan. Our next soldier comes from Guapo, and he's a distinguished son of the Point Fortin soil. He is ready to fight the battle for the constituency of Point Fortin. He has had a decorated and accomplished military career spanning 36 years, retiring of Chief of Defense Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you its soldier for the constituency of Pointe-à-Pierre, retired Major General Edmund Dillon. Ladies and gentlemen, what hasn't been yet said about our next soldier isn't worth saying. He is a son of the proud city of San Fernando. A passion for service to community and country courses through the veins of his third generation PNMite. His mother, Diane Sukaran, served as a member of Parliament for San Fernando West. This soldier is an attorney at law with a very active litigation practice. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you its soldier for the constituency of San Fernando West, the one and only Mr. Faris Alwari. Our next soldier hails from the constituency of Siparia. He has been actively involved in the community and in social work for many years. He's a long-standing member of the People's National Movement. His work and representation as alderman and chairman of the Siparia Regional Corporation stand out as prime examples of what people-centered representation should be. Ladies and gentlemen, the PNM gives you its soldier for the constituency of Siparia, Mr. Vidya Deokasing.
PNM family! Are you ready? Are you ready? Hey! When I say red, you say ready. Red! Red! When I say red, you say ready. Red! Red! Is this the PNM family? Put your hands in the air! I want the rest! I want the best! I want to see everything in the air! You know why? Shut one time! And it hit! One time! Hey! Let's do this right! Let's do this! Come on! Creature candidates, one by one. Hey, your children's future, your brother's keeper. You have a choice, so now lift up your voice. We ready and ready. It wasn't ready. The PNM family. No, let's do this now. Jump up. Let's do this now. Hey, let's do this together. Hey, let's do this right. Jump up. Let's do this now. Let's do this together. Trinidad! 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 Rags up! Flags up! Hey! Show me a rag! Show me a flag! Show me a rag! Everybody! Why? 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 Listen!
PNM has the plan, a strong foundation, or guarantee for the next generation. From our hearts, aspiration, together with faith we build this great nation.
Hey, their discrimination, intimidation, and separation to spoil this creation. We have a vision for conservation. The PNM family. Hey, let's do this right. Jump up. Let's do this now. Let's do this together. Let's do this right. Let's do this now. Let's do this together. Arriba, stand up. Digo Martin. Hey, Lupino. Hey, Trinidad ready for the PNM family. Why? Check, look. I have a flag in my hand. Help me to wave it well. We're rag. I have a flag in my hand. Help me to wave. We're rag. We're flag now. Get something to wave. Get something to wave. Get something to wave. Get something to wave. One, you waving. Two, you waving. One, two. Everybody wave now. Jump up. Let's do this right. Let's do this now. Let's do this together. Hey, hey. Let's do this right. Jump up. Let's do this now. Everybody put the right hand in the air. Put your right hand in the air. It's dancing time. It's dancing time. On 4. Watch all of us. We're going slow. Left, right. Left, right. On 4. Stand by. Hey. Say PNM. 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 PNM on 4. 1. We dancing. 2. We dancing. 1, 2. Everybody. Stand bye-bye. 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 40 feet. Bye-bye. Hey. 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 Trinidad. 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 Boy, yo, 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 yo. You ready, ready? Yeah. Hey. So ready. So ready. So ready. So ready. So ready. Look. I want everybody put the right hand in the air. Remember something. All of believe that Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley will be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Say yeah! You know what? Asking you again. Because I want them down the road to hear all you. Watch me. All who believe that Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley will be the next Prime Minister. Say yeah! Why? Great to the PNM! Great to the PNM! And we will prepare!
Just a few of the candidates that y'all can put your X by come Monday, September 7th. The people here in Etihad Grounds, they are definitely red and ready because the vibe is electric right here in the ground named after a former PNM MP who put a lot of his energies into providing a place for the people of this region to come out and compete in a friendly environment, to socialize, and really sometimes just to gather with their families. And what was evident, Arlene, Friday, Trinidad and Tobago proved to us that we are red and ready.
Oh my goodness, yes, they certainly did. Friday was declared Red Day by the People's National Movement. And on my way to work from Arima, I was looking to see how many people actually answered the call, and I was amazed. People done their red, proud to be PNM, proud to be Trini, and understanding what they have to do come Monday. And I think that having heeded that call on Friday, they certainly would heed the even more important call on Monday to go out and dip your finger and put the X by the Balize, return the Trinidad and Tobago to good governance.
One thing you were mentioning to me earlier, the amount of young people that are here today in Etihad Grounds, and I know you've been at most, if not all, at all of the rallies. Talk to me about the attendance of the young people.
You know, I was sitting here today and my pulse was raising, you know, looking at so many young people here at the Etihad ground. And you know, a lot of times you hear people saying that young people, they seem to be apathetic, they don't care, they think that politics does not concern them. And I want to say that that cannot be true if you look at the crowd here in Etihad. And in all of the other rallies that we had. The PNM didn't have a youth rally this year because I don't think we needed to. But anyway, we're heading backstage to the stage side now to see what's going on stage.
Good afternoon, PNM family! Greetings to the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, our political leader of the party, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, Chief Secretary of the THA, Mr. Orville London, Chairman of the PNM, Mr. Franklin Khan, Deputy political leaders, other party officers, mayors, aldermen, councillors, specially invited guests, my family, my Facebook and WhatsApp family. I know half of you are out here. Good evening. As I walk through this crowd this evening, the energy, the massive crowd, the magic, it truly mesmerized me. And as I stood before you, many thousands of decent, law-abiding citizens in the now hallowed and sanctified Eddie Hart grounds, I, like Mr. Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration in TNT against corruption, favoritism, and nepotism in our nation. Just over 50 years ago, the architects of our independence promised us that every creed and race will find an equal place. Just short of 20 years ago, our Republican
Warp speed into the future, boldly going where no man has gone before.
Ladies and gentlemen, we fought for a cause. Dr. Rowley is in the house. And to introduce him here to this massive audience at Eddie Hart Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your political leader, the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley and his wife, Sharon Rowley.
Warp speed into the future, boldly going where no man has gone before.
Just short of 20 years ago, our Republican Constitution embodied and guaranteed the fundamental right of all persons to life and property and equality before the law. These momentous decrees came as a beacon light of hope to all. But 5 years ago, a tragic event befell us. a dark shadow and spell engulfed this sacred land. The UNC and partnership through lies, deceits, untruth, deceptions, and manipulations carefully crafted a plan which brought darkness and misery to our lands. Many of our innocent and trusting people were hoodwinked and fooled and fell easy prey and victim to their unsuspecting traps. We have gathered here in our tens of thousands to protest our deep disappointment with this PP government. Their performance at best is pathetic and dismal. We have been cheated, duped, and fooled. The PP government has defaulted on all their promises. Corruption is now their mantra, while nepotism is their guru. And for those of you amongst us who are unfamiliar with me, my name is Abigail Nandalal, and I am your next MP for Chaguanas West. For I, Abigail Nandalal, know that I will achieve greatness come September 7th. Like the other representatives here today, I am also here with the sole intention of making a genuine contribution to national politics and my constituency with a meaningful difference. My leadership qualities have developed over the past few years by working in the food industry as a microbiologist at my company, which gave me the opportunity to be positioned in key leadership roles, and also through the PNM, my wonderful party. I am here to represent my community, my constituency, and by extension, you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I believe that we can make a tremendous contribution towards our country's development internationally as well. It is being publicized by other parties that we are green and inexperienced. And so, to that we say, if we are green and inexperienced, we plead guilty as charged. But green and inexperienced to corruption, nepotism, favoritism, big rigging, and thievery. And I want it to be clearly understood that the youths of today are fed up of the negative politics. I am a youth and I understand their frustrations. That is the reason why I can say that the youths are gravitating towards the PNM in droves and by the thousands. The PNM is about youth empowerment. It is not just about giving a laptop, but about pointing the way forward with a sense of purpose and inclusion. Youths have a real chance for an exciting future. The horizon is clear and weather is beautiful under the PNM government. Throughout my walkabouts and campaigning, I realized a lot of the youths within the nation have a bitter taste when it comes to politics, to the point where some say they are not voting. I've listened to their complaints, and trust me, they have a lot of things to be complaining about. The amount of finances that are in place that are supposed to better the lives and increase the success rate of the sport and entertainment industries, to name a few, are non-operational. It is saddening to see all the drive and passion that the youths possess for these sectors become hurt and disgruntled, all because of specific individuals seeking their personal benefit. Well, I can assure you, under the PNM governance, we will ensure these programs are actually well structured and set a foundation where we will leave no room for corruption and room only for success. Well, you know, I am here and I have to talk about my constituency, Chaguanas West. Chaguanas West! Let me hear you! There's no shortage of economic ideas to implement, to improve the economic landscape of the people of Chaguanas and by extension our country. When we get into government, I will advocate for the development of a water taxi terminal in Felicity with large, adequate and secure parking facilities. The water taxi terminal will be a part of a grand commercial center with banks, commercial shops, gas stations, supermarkets, restaurants, and a farmer's market. Not only will it alleviate the frustrating traffic rules by taking thousands of cars off the road, but it will open many avenues for economic growth, encourage local entrepreneurship, family life, as we will seek to foster, promote, and encourage a water park with water recreational activities in that area. I have become flabbergasted and impatient with the underdevelopment and rural neglect of parts of Chaguanas West. I believe that the PNM is the only stable and progressive party in TNT with a vision to achieve sustainable development well within a global economic framework where price of oil and gas are floundering. Shale gas has been a source of international concern, but may be here as a fact of life. The ever-increasing production of gas and oil by Iran since the recent lifting of the embargo will have its impact on our net revenues here in TNT. The PNM sees the investment in youth and technology as the way forward. The plan to surpass South Korea in education and technology by wise and prudent investments. I support the ideals of the PNM, the vision of the PNM, and I believe that the leadership of the PNM can deliver on its promise to make Trinidad and Tobago to the status of a developed country. And so, as a daughter of Chaguanas West, I made the decision to stand up and support my party, the PNM, in its efforts to deliver value to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to rescue TNT from the jaws of political instability and economic decadence. As a representative of the PNM, I offer myself as a person of integrity, honesty, morality, with consistent, progressive, and stable representation. The kind of representation that I hope is worthy of this party, and particularly worthy of the ladies, the stalwarts, who have been working within the ranks of the PNM since its inception. Today, I pay homage and respect to Ms. Joan U. Williams, Ms. Camille Robinson Regis, Ms. Diane Sukaran, Dr. Linda Babulal, and all the others here today and before my time. I believe that Chaguanas West is ready for true representation, and I am ready to offer that representation as a member of the PNM. I know that I can achieve so much under the guidance of all of you who have helped to build this party. I trust that under the support and leadership of our country's next Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, we can restore the guiding principles of integrity, morality, ethics, dignity, and direction to Trinidad and Tobago's political landscape. I would like to share with you brothers and sisters, that the saffron yellow central plains of Trinidad and Tobago are now changing its complexion to a sindoor red across the heartland of this country. I am a proud representative of the PNM, and not only am I ready to serve, but to serve with integrity, passion, enthusiasm. I love you all, and we will snatch back this country from defeat and put it on the road of sustainable development. I leave with you with the medieval words, Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. On September 7, the people would have spoken, and the voice of the people would be the voice of God. I thank you, and may the Almighty God bless each one of you. And we shall say in unison, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we have prevailed.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And I have with me now one of the most popular and dynamic candidates for San Fernando West in this election, Mr. Faris Alwari. Faris, vibes with us a little bit.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago, and if you could be here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we've set up this stage in a different way this year. We're actually facing in a different direction to occupy the entire park. But there is 3 hours of traffic of PNM people waiting to get here. Cell phone reception is dead completely because there's just too much signal jam. So the vibe here is electric. This is a crowd that is self-motivated and self-mobilized. And Trinidad and Tobago, you can feel the groundswell of the PNM. We just heard from Abigail Nanlal, one of our rising stars, taking on Chaguanas West, no lesser place. Beautiful, energetic, lively, courageous, symbolizing a lot of what Trinidad and Tobago can expect from the PNM. But this is, after all, the eve of the election. And we want to tell Trinidad and Tobago that we have on offer philosophy, policy, and we have process and people. We're going to be introducing in a short while all of the candidates in our second batch, and they are going to be the flag bearers for a different angle. We're telling you, be cautious in Trinidad and Tobago. Just a little tip, electoral polling cards have not been given out yet. You can vote without them. Just turn up with valid ID. Even if your cards, identification cards are expired, you can still vote. So beware that you have your right to exercise, and look on as we go stateside and introduce our second round of candidates. God bless you and enjoy.
A track record of service and a two-time representative of the Comoto Manzanilla constituency. Comoto Manzanilla, he is your next MP, Barry Lochan. Up next, we have Kevin Craig Chan, your candidate for Tabakeed. Mr. Chan boasts distinguished roots in Tabakeed, young and accomplished, a manager of a successful engineering company, married and a proud father of one. Put your hands together for Kevin Craig Chan, your next MP for Tabakeed. Your next candidate is Don Richard Wade, representing Naparima. Born and bred in Naparima, a practicing attorney at law, boasting 5 years of service as the honorary counsel for Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Don Richard Wade is your next MP, Naparima. Representing Caroni Central, Mr. Avinash Singh. a former senator, a farmer by profession, and an active participant in the agricultural sector, your next MP for Caroni Central, Mr. Avinash Singh. Our next candidate is Sarah Alisa Boudou, representing Caroni East. Put your hands together for Miss Sarah Alisa Boudou, your youthful, energetic, and committed candidate with a mixture of vigor and passion, representing Caroni East, Sarah Alisa Boudou. Welcome to the stage, Mayaro, your next MP, Clarence Rambarat. Mr. Rambarat brings to Mayaro 23 years of relevant public and private sector experience. He is a worthy representative and a champion of the people. Mayaro, let's hear it, Mr. Clarence Rambarat. Welcoming to the stage, your next MP, Princess Town. It is Nikolaevsky Ali. Proud son of Princess Town, a qualified instructor at the UTT and qualified in strategic and project management with a passion for service and a volunteer for the Association for Families with Special Needs. Let's hear it for Nikolaevsky Ali, your candidate for Princess Town. Maxi Coffee, representing La Joqueta Talparo. La Joqueta Talparo, we are riding with Maxi, a scholar from Harvard and MIT, former president of the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and executive member of the CCN, founder and chairman of the Todd Road United Foundation. Let's hear it for Maxi Coffee. Moruga Tebalan, are you ready? Dr. Lovell Francis is your next MP, holding a PhD in history, accomplished professionally and academically, a former lecturer at the University of the West Indies, committed to public service. Let's hear it for Dr. Lovell Francis. Is Glenda Jennings Smith, representing Togo Sani Grande. Welcoming the next MP for Togo Sani Grande, a former assistant commissioner of police with an extensive background and proven commitment to public service. Mrs. Jennings Smith holds a master's degree in criminology and police management from the University of Cambridge, England. Mrs. Jennings Smith. Welcome to the stage, your candidate for Orapushe West, Clifford Rambarose, an entrepreneur, businessman, community leader, and a skilled graphic artist. Let's hear it. Orapushe West, your representative, Clifford Rambarose. And the next candidate is Nicole Olivier from La Brea, a highly qualified energy professional, young, vibrant, born and bred in the village of Santa Flora. She is your next MP, La Brea. It is Nicole Olivier.
Wind your neck. Who ya? Who ya? Yeah. I wanna see you wind up. And give me when you push back up. Girl, your body looking good. And you put me in the mood. Who are you voting for? She got on the thing, eh? Then I can see the thing right. They have mash up the place and you know you're whining good, Chibalo. Are you ready for the candidates? Are you ready for the candidates? And Chibal. Chibal. Hey, hey, hey. Chibal. Chibal. The new government of Trinidad and Tobago. I wanna tunje. White party thing. Tell them all that. I wanna see you wind up. I bring that push up. And give me when you push back that thing hard. Girl, your body looking good. And you put me in a bud. When you wind so. Then she ball up. She got on the thing right. Then I can see the thing right. I want to see every PNM wrong. And Shiva. 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 Well, she called me there. And she said, Ahola. Tell them, Ahola tunje. White party team. Sleep on the arena. Anything that you smile brighter than daylight. Who you voting for? PNM! 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 Everybody! Oh, no. Oh, no. No Kamala! No Kamala! No Kamala! No Kamala! Wow! Everybody! Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Candidates, here we go. Who you voting for? Who you voting for? Who you voting for?
A few more of the candidates vying for your votes on Monday. Get up early, go out and vote. If your parents for some reason cannot get to the voting booths by themselves, or your family member they can't get there by themselves, carry them with you. Go out and vote for the People's National Movement. Put that X by the Balizé.
Certainly, Hans. And I just want to refer again to this massive crowd gathered here in the Etihad Savannah. And the entertainment has been electrifying thus far. And people are really enjoying themselves. Of course, we have the slate of the best candidates on offer here in this 2015 general elections. Before I had Mr. Faris Alwari here with us chatting a bit. And Faris reminded us actually that if you did not receive your poll card in the mail, you can still vote. Go out on Monday with a valid ID, and even if your national ID isn't valid, go with any other Trinidad and Tobago ID that you have. Even if you don't have that and they find your name in the binder with a picture and can verify that you are the said person, you would have to swear an oath and you will get to vote. So exercise your franchise, go out with or without that poll card and cast your ballot for the People's National Movement.
Definitely. Now coming up we have lots more entertainment, but we're also going to hear from some more of the candidates of from the People's National Movement, as well as the leader, the man who will be the future Prime Minister, but with your help, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley.
Yes, and I look forward to that because, you know, leadership is a thing that we really need to take seriously. And I can say that Dr. Rowley is a man that understands what leadership is, and certainly what we need at this point in Trinidad and Tobago to take us out of this hole that we seem to be in. We saw in the news today, Hans, that the governor of the central bank has actually admitted that the economy has contracted. And that is a totally different story than what the Minister of Finance was telling us previously.
Very true,
people
Aline.
of Trinidad and Tobago, you must realize what this administration has done to our country, has done to our economy, has done to our society, and we need to fix it. And you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you have the power to fix it. Each and every one of you, go do your part on Monday, the 7th of September, and vote the People's National Movement back into government.
So on Monday, let's do this together. Let's do this right. Let's do this. Right now we get ready to head to the stage for a man that the people have truly fallen in love with over this election campaign 2015. We get ready for Mr. Fares Al-Rari on stage, ready to greet the people here at Etihad Grounds. To the stage.
For Fares Al-Rari! This is the biggest collab.
Ladies and gentlemen, PNM family, let me feel that love. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, I bring greetings first of all to us all under the blessings of the Lord Jesus Christ. I say to my Muslim brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I say to my Hindu brothers and sisters, Namaste Sitaram. Ladies and gentlemen, as of midnight tonight, we have 30 hours and counting. Are you ready to vote them out? Are you ready for a PNM government? Are you ready to herald Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley as our new Prime Minister? 5 long years in the wilderness. 65 months we have waited. 1,933 days we have waited. Deliverance is upon us. You had a government come to us in 2010 and say that we would rise. You had a government come and say to you that the PNM was wiped out from the face of politics. You had a government come and tell us that they stood for integrity and morality and transparency, and that they had a leader who was committed. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we began to see the true yellow color of what the UNC was made of. Small little cracks in the armor, like pianos that supposedly went missing. Reshmi Gate, Prison Gate, Email Gate, SIS Gate, Life Sport Gate, breaking out of Prison Gate. How many more gates does it take before the flood waters that will cleanse Trinidad and Tobago wipe them out from the face of this land? Ladies and gentlemen, $400 billion was spent in the last 5 years. And I ask you, do you feel that our economy is in a better position? Do you feel the benefit of equality and service for everyone? Do our children have better education today? Are they experiencing better health care? Do our aged have better transportation? Has gate been expanded? Have the pockets of a few rich, fat financiers grown exponentially in Trinidad and Tobago? Is that governance that you think made us rise? Do you think that plenty for 20 is a plan? Do you think that Kamala has a plan for good governance? Do you think that saying you have a plan for dinner gives you a dinner to eat? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. Under a PNM government, we say that we are deserving of comprising a noble government, not because we are so fed up of a UNC regime, but because we have policy, we have process, we have transparency, we have people that can withstand scrutiny. And we say, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a better life, if you want hope to return to Trinidad and Tobago, if you want to feel circulation of money amongst the people at the lowest levels, if you want a cut in taxation, if you want food prices to come down because we will reduce VAT from 15% to 12.5%, if you want more jobs because the local government will be expanded to deliver services, then that is why you must vote for the PNM on Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you this. Trinidad and Tobago, as we stand from midnight tonight, 30 hours away from a general election, polling cards have not yet been delivered to everyone. And I want to tell you, you can vote without a polling card. Go to your polling division, turn up with valid identification, a passport, a driver's permit, an expired identification card with a driver's license, and exercise your constitutional right to vote. Don't let them fool you and keep you away. Ladies and gentlemen, do not believe the lies and distractions. And I want today on this public stage to tell Trinidad and Tobago, I am a man who is proud to be a son of Trinidad and Tobago, proud to be a son of San Fernando West, proud to be the son of Diane Sukaran, proud to be a representative for the People's National Movement. And I want to say to a gentleman who I wish to spend only a moment of time on, Rudal Munilal, I don't want no man crush from you. This PNM man don't fire in your direction. Leave me alone. If you wanted to spend time bothering with me in San Fernando West, then you should have accepted the Prime Minister's instruction to fight me in San Fernando West. Don't come in your yellow clothing with no coward statement to try and thief an election, because Trinidad and Tobago is smarter than that. Ladies and gentlemen, do we believe in a better future? Let me hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, we must exercise our constitutional rights with decorum and decency. We must tell Trinidad and Tobago on the night of September 7th, after we are declared victorious, that we have doors wide open to everyone. The PNM is filled with newcomers, be they from the COP, be they from the UNC. This party is about to celebrate 60 years of a proud tradition of discipline. And we will represent all without fear or favor, malice or ill will, for the benefit of everyone in Trinidad and Tobago. It's been a long journey. I know you are feeling tired. I know that you see the horizon before us. But I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. We will not go quietly into that darkness. We will fight on the break of dawn at 6 a.m. We are strengthened by our courage in discipline and our faith in goodness. And as our leader says, we believe that everything that is right in Trinidad and Tobago can defeat everything that is wrong in Trinidad and Tobago. So ladies and gentlemen, I want us to bear in mind our responsibility. I want us to recognize that the groundswell is here. It looks like a tidal wave, but groundswells must be converted into votes. And votes happen one by one as we fill the ballot box. As they say, we fill cocoa in basket. We are a party that has led the way in democracy in Trinidad and Tobago. It's not a time for anybody to believe that there are undecideds. There are no undecideds. We know who we are. I want to say a special thanks on behalf of each and every candidate to our massive volunteerism in the PNM. We are nothing without the people of the PNM. We as representatives represent the views of Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to pay homage and honor to each and every soldier, man, woman, and child that has come out in defense of our democracy. We love you and stand on your shoulders as officers for the time being, taking our turn in public service. Our time will come, our time will go, but we must leave Trinidad and Tobago in a better state and condition than we found it. And boy, can the PNM do that. So as I say to you, in Eddie Hart grounds, this massive crowd gathered here, join me in echoing that famous war cry. We will beat them in the north. We will beat them in the south. We will beat them in the east. We will beat them in the west. We will beat them in Tobago. We will beat them in Central. It's time to do this now, Trinidad and Tobago. We have faith in our political party. We have faith in our political leader. We have faith in God Almighty. And great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall and must prevail. God bless you, Trinidad and Tobago.
Thousands of people from all over Trinidad and Tobago gathered here in the Eddie Hart grounds, Tacarigua, in the final rally for the People's National Movement before we head to the polls.
That's right, Hans. It is amazing down here at Eddie Hart grounds. It has blown mind, the vibe, the energy. But let me tell Trinidad and Tobago something. This has been taking place for the last 10 days, Hans.
Yeah.
I have walked all over Trinidad and Tobago. Bangladesh and St. Joseph, Pointe-a-Pierre, Sandy Grande, my constituency. And in the last 10 days, Hans, it has picked up. There is a groundswell, a surge taking place. Everybody wants to be on the PNM bandwagon now. And today is just another manifestation of that.
What are some of the particular items that you heard of in the news and so on that you think is really driving people towards the People's National Movement at this point in time?
I think it is a clean campaign that we ran. No mudslinging, no personalized attacks. But what everyone needs to remember is come Monday, the 7th of September, all of this counts for naught unless you go to the polls, you exercise your franchise, you do what is right for your children and your grandchildren. That's what Trinidad and Tobago needs to do on Monday. Vote for us, vote for PNM, return us to stability, good governance, and decency.
Now, Stuart, you're the candidate for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. What do you have to say to your constituents out there?
My constituency, I've been walking since October last year. They've seen me, some of them 3 and 4 times. I'm there. I'm going to represent you. We're going to bring this home on Monday. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Stuart Young. Let's head to the stage.
Singing as we talk, play, dance and dream, unveiling a great destiny, all smiling and painting this Caribbean scene.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the Red Rally at the Eddie Hart ground here in Tunapuna. And we're having a massive time right now. It's a massive crowd. And we're having a grand old time. And I have here with me Major General Edmund Dillon, retired. And Major General, I want to find out what exactly inspired you to take the leap into the political arena, and how has your experience been thus far?
Oh, thank you very much for that question. A patriot is one who comes to the defense of his country. And I consider myself a patriot, having served in the military for 36 years, 1 month and 17 days. Having retired with my military skills and my academic qualifications, which I got from Eric Williams' government, when I look at the state of my country right now, I think there's a reason for patriotism once again. And so I feel that I have something to contribute to defend my country and the state of the degradation of institutions, the crime, the poverty, our porous borders and so on. I feel that I can lend my skills, my leadership skills, my military skills to better the development in this sweet country of Trinidad and Tobago.
And certainly, I thank you for that answer. And you know, I was listening to you and I was saying to myself, that is what true leadership is.
Yes.
Understanding your responsibility, knowing that you need to do your part to give back, and actually stepping up to the plate and doing that. And you certainly must be commended for that, Major General. And tell me, what do you think about this gathering here today?
Thank you very much. There's a certain kind of energy that's flowing today. That energy is what we require in the People's National Movement right now, that will crescendo on Monday, the 7th of September. You see the energy that's flowing right now? It gives us as candidates the kind of inspiration to be true leadership and to inspire all those people to ensure that they vote a government that is going to govern this country and take this country out of the state it's in right now. A government of integrity and morality in public life.
Thank you very much for that answer, and I hope you're listening, Trinidad and Tobago. A man who has stood in defense of Trinidad and Tobago for many years in the military, and he's now parlaying that into a political career to give back to the nation. And we certainly want to commend people like Major General Dillon for coming forward and offering himself a candidate of the highest caliber to continue to defend Trinidad and Tobago. And I remember, Major General, that about a week or so ago, I was listening to a speech by Mr. Orville London, and Mr. London was saying that we are on a rescue mission. The People's National Movement is on a rescue mission. Well, we're going back stateside now. We have a lot going on, so let's go stateside.
Trinidad and Tobago! PNM family! This is the last lap. We are almost to the finish line. Are you ready? Are you ready? I have the distinct pleasure of presenting a group of men and women who will rebuild, restore, and represent you, Trinidad and Tobago, a group of dynamic, charismatic, educated, hardworking PNM soldiers. So are we ready? Arima, I want to hear you. A national icon in education, a former president of tutor, a former principal of Fatima College. He has extensive knowledge and experience in management and communication, a community mobilizer, a role model to hundreds of young men. Arima, your candidate, make some noise. Anthony Garcia. Lopino Bone, I want to hear you. Are you ready? 25 years of experience as a human resources executive, qualified in international relations, behavioral psychology and industrial relations. A beautiful, empathetic, compassionate, yet strong, resilient woman, ready to work for you, Lopino Bone. Your candidate, the next member of parliament for you, Sherry-Ann Critchlow Coburn. Make some noise. Davide O'Meara, are you ready? Former Chief of Staff of the Defense Force of our country, Commander of the 1st CARICOM Battalion in operations in Haiti, internationally recognized, has a BA in Public
see me heart. I'm telling her, PNM, oh, a party into the rain, and I'm coming out of the rain. We don't care when nobody say, every carnival we done day, plus we know all artists and PNM. Them say I'm mad enough. Where I'm from Trinidad. Chini, when PNM was say, oh, cause the love of Trinidad look. And the love of Trinidad. And the light to hear Chini. Meet the future ministers. And the love of Chini. Cinnamon. If you know you love PNM, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. Cinnamon. Soca just give me my powers. AI, make me jump and bet 3 hours. Nah. Soca just give me my powers. AI, drink me rum and share with others. Bet 3 hours. Soca powers. It's a wonderful feeling. Show me around. Show me a flag. Show me PNM. We make it, we name. We party and stand on rail. Don't care what the people say. One thing is singing my face. So much purpose I can't explain. I want to let go that day. You wanna take me away. All the words I say. PNM. We're phenomenal. Phenomenal. We're phenomenal. PNM phenomenal. We're phenomenal. We're phenomenal. Everybody, I want to hear you. What we say? Ah! Soca don't give me the powers. AI, turn me into masqueraders. Nah. Soca don't give me the powers. AI, don't me shit up. Watch me. Masqueraders, we get we powers. It's a wonderful feeling. If you have a PNM flag, you have a PNM rag, you vote in PNM. Watch me, do so, do so, do so. Ooh, we party in summer rain. Don't care what the people say. A party night and day. Away, take me away. What? We phenomenal. What? We're phenomenal. We're phenomenal. PNM phenomenal. Everybody do so, do so. If you support the PNM, do so, do so. Every flag, every hand in the air. PNM. Ooh, we party in summer rain. We don't care what the people say. We party night and day, Lord. Away, PNM family. We're phenomenal. What? We're phenomenal. What? PNM phenomenal. We're phenomenal. We're phenomenal. Thank you very much. Somebody say PNM. I'm swanky now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I am Arlene Gorin George, and I'm here. I'm joined by none other than Mr. Rocky, solid as a rock Garcia of the constituency of Diego Martin West. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you do not know, Mr. Rocky Garcia comes from the Congress of the People, and he was actually one of Dr. Rowley's, or actually Dr. Rowley's main political rival in the constituency of Diego Martin West. In 2010, Mr. Garcia came within thousands of Dr. Rowley's total in the polls, and this time around in the 2015 elections, he's now endorsing Dr. Keith Rowley as the Diego Martin West representative and also as Prime Minister. So I have to ask you, Mr. Garcia, exactly what made you take that decision to endorse Dr. Rowley for MP of Diego Martin West and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, let me say it's a pleasure being here, sitting down and reaching out to the people of Trinidad, of this great nation. Where do we want to end up at the end of the day? And it's all about people and people consciousness. While I might be a representative of the
Mr.
COP,
Garcia, we're going to ask you to stay with us for a little while. We're going to go backstage and we're going to come back to our interview. Let's go.
Trinidad, let's do this. Let's do this for the father of our nation. Let's do this for all our parents. Let's do this for the defenders. Let's do this for the real whistleblowers. Let's do this for our island. Let's do this for our country. Let's do this for our children. Let's do this for our community. Brothers and sisters, this time is about decency. This time is about integrity. This time is about rebuilding sweet TNT. This time is about saving that PNM legacy. Brothers and sisters, this time around is dedicated to those who have gone before us, that would have fought to ensure that we have a decent standard of living and enjoy the true PNM story. Brothers and sisters, from socks to stockings, a PNM story. From white shoes to high heel boots, a PNM story. From backpack to handbag, a PNM story. From shirt jack to necktie, a PNM story. From gym shoes to wingtip boots, a PNM story. From dirt oven to electric stove, a PNM story. From slow boat to fast ferry, a PNM story. From latrine pit to flushing toilets, a PNM story. From pelting mango to Olympic gold, a PNM story. Brothers and sisters, we have a history of a very strong legacy. But can I tell you that that strong legacy under the UNC is under attack? But in 2 days, brothers and sisters, we would stage the great fight back. Because the people's national movement, we stand here not just red, but we stand here ready to reunite our people, ready to resuscitate our economy, ready to revive our democracy, ready to restore our institution, ready to rebuild this great nation. Brothers and sisters, can I tell you that with the PNM, you are not taking a chance. You are putting your confidence in a party that stands tall on performance. Whenever Trinidad and Tobago needs transformation, they call on the PNM. Whenever Trinidad and Tobago needs restoration, we call on the PNM. Whenever Trinidad and Tobago needs a solution, we call on the PNM. Because we came through for you before, and we stand ready to come through for you again. From colonialism to independence, the PNM. Brothers and sisters, PNM remains the leader. The People's National Movement remains the liberator. The PNM remains the promoter. And the PNM remains the provider of opportunities, not just for a few, but for everybody. We built the schools. We built the institutions. We raise people out of poverty. We educate the children. This is no made-up story or no rumor from your nenen. This is PNM facts. This is the fact, the history. This is the proud legacy of the People's National Movement. There is absolutely no accomplishment in this great nation that doesn't have the stamp or the DNA of the People's National Movement. Who bought Caroni? PNM. Who saved Angostura? PNM. Who transformed Telco? PNM. Cove in Tobago? PNM. Pembroke Heritage Park? PNM. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, PNM. Friendship Estate, PNM. Gas line in Tobago, PNM. The energy industry, PNM. Can I take you back, Trinidad? Who gave you ID cards? PNM. Driver's permit, social programs, free education. Now, brothers and sisters, I'm not trying to boast or start any problem, but I'm just telling you any good thing in this country came from the hands and the heart of the PNM. PNM is the first. PNM is the foremost. PNM is the foundation and PNM is the solution.
Brothers and sisters, on top of all, we stand on the shoulders of a great leader, a visionary, a man of integrity, where black is black and white is white, wrong is wrong and right is right. Brothers and sisters, if this country ever needed sober leadership, that time is now. If this country ever needed a disciplined party, that time is now. If this country ever needed to get rid of the partnership, that time is now. If this country ever needed a Keith Christopher Rowley, that time is now. Because you have seen all you need to see and hear all you need to hear. Brothers and sisters, let no one and nothing deter you from taking back your country. Spoil the ballot is the clarion call I'm hearing from a certain political trickster. But after 5 long years, we've been heaping wood and getting ready to burn a political fire. Back Stalin done sign us up for a short-term walk at the political gate with Peter. Come Monday morning, we marking, we X and we burning them with the finger. On election day, brothers and sisters, let nobody stand in your way. PNM people putting down walk with Peter. We gonna be saying, Peter, wait, Peter, wait, Peter, look at me, love by the gate. Peter don't care what he say and do. Rodney Charles going in the fire too. Why? This is our time for burning. Trinidad and Tobago, keep the fire blazing. For Trinidad and Tobago to grow, Kamala Prasad Bisesa must go. For Trinidad and Tobago to grow, the UNC must go. For Trinidad and Tobago to grow, Prakash Ramadan must go. For Trinidad and Tobago to grow, Rodney Charles must grow. Brothers and sisters, we have suffered, under this band of bandits, we have suffered a myriad of misdeeds. From Reshmi Gate to Email Gate, and our Prime Minister high on weed. They emptied the treasury and they didn't cater to our needs. But come Monday morning, Trinidad, we're gonna beat them out indeed. We would beat them in the east. We would beat them in the west. Clarence would beat them in Mayara, and you know we're sure to beat them out in Tobago. Trinidad on board, we red and we ready. Tobago on board, we red and we ready. 2 more days, we red and we ready. 41 strong candidates, we red and we ready. Join us on this journey, we red and we ready. Taking back our country, we red and we ready. PNM 10 step ahead, we red and we ready. Who ain't red, they're dead, we red and we ready. We just watching, we clock, we red and we ready. On Monday the thing turn up, we red and we ready. Out and bad, we red and we ready. Show them no mercy, we red and we ready. Show them no remorse, we red and we ready. Attack them with full force, we red and we ready. And brothers and sisters, on the 7th of September, when all is said and done, we have placed our votes and victory is won. We'll come back here, our meeting Woodford Square, where we joyfully sing our song. Great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail. I thank you.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, at the Red Rally. And before we went to Ms. Shamfa Kojo, who is now being dubbed on social media as a shiro. We have heroes, well, Shamfa is a shiro. And we're back with Mr. Rocky Garcia. And Mr. Garcia, you were just going to tell us about your philosophy of thinking behind endorsing Dr. Rowley in this 2015 general elections.
Well, yes. And again, I just want to say it's a pleasure being here, right? The endorsement for Mr. Rowley is quite clear. I stood up for certain beliefs and ideals, which was the philosophy of what we wanted to carry this country forward. Good governance, good thinking, transparency, accountability, an end of white-collar crime, an end of crime in the first instance. You understand? Looking for what we could do from the bottom-up approach rather than the top-down approach, right? How we could share our assets and responsibilities throughout the middle the middle age, build our middle economy, right? So that was my ideals and belief of the COP. And we put that ideals and belief with a partnership with our friends, or so-called friends, I would say in 2010, the UNC, and they have failed. We had agreements, we had signed agreements, and what happened? Total betrayal. Went back on their word, went back on the promises, went back on the ideals. And if I have to come here in 2015, and say I am going to vote a party, no sure, right? Vote a party for what I represented. I cannot vote for them. So then what are my options? My options is continue my search for change. And here I am today, and it's not only about change, it is about a leader that can carry us forward. And in Mr. Rowley, I have seen the tremendous leadership qualities inside him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia. I'm being told that we're going to be heading backstage now, stage side, to see what's going on there.
Okay.
Young people, come out in your numbers, and we have to ensure that Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and the other 40 candidates form the next government of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, if there ever was a time that the PNM was ready and prepared for governance, that time is now. St. Anne's East, are you ready? I present Dr. Nayan Gadsby Dolly. She brings an impressive resume in academia. She is a chemistry lecturer. She is a Lydian singer. She knows community service. She is a diligent worker, and she will shake things up in St. Anne's East. St. Anne's East, I present to you your next member of parliament, Miss Dolly. He is from Pitch Road, Mova. He attended Trinity College, Mova. He is a mechanical engineer. He has a vision for the youth. He is an entrepreneur. He is ambitious, and he will bring victory home. Ladies and gentlemen, your next member of parliament, Mr. Adrian Lyons. My youth officer, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines. A man of integrity, a man of the people. The man is capable of bringing the Leventhal experience. A hard worker, young at heart, our humble servant. Mr. Hafiz Ali. He is an accounting technician. He is a commercial pilot. He is a businessman. He is the everything man. He is the man that is going to make Barataria San Juan a safe seat for the PNM. I present to you your next member of parliament, Mr. Hafiz Ali. profession. He is impressive. He's charismatic. Your next member of parliament for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, I present to you Stuart Young. Is anybody here from Port of Spain South? I give you our deputy political leader. I give you our warrior queen. I give you our titan in defense of all things PNM. I give you a hard worker. I give you woman. I give you the next member of parliament for Port of Spain South, Miss Marlene MacDonald. Is anybody here from Degomartin Northeast? I give you a man of experience. I give you a giant of a man. I give you a civil engineer. I give you a man that knows his business. I give you your next member of parliament for Degomartin Northeast, the Honorable Colm Ember. Is anybody here from Degomartin Central? I give you a graduate of St. Mary's College. I give you a businessman. I give you your chairman of the corporation in Degomartin. I give you a sport lover. I give you a man of vision. I give you a community man. And I give you the man that is going to be the next member of parliament, none other than Darrell Smith. Look at PNM people. Is there anybody here from Tobago East? I give you a daughter of the soil. I give you a woman. I give you somebody that is honest, somebody that has integrity. I give you Miss Ayana Webster Roy, your next member of parliament. For 5 long years, ladies and gentlemen, we have had incompetent representation. For 5 long years, Tobago has endured. For 5 long years, Tobago West begged for Ms. Shamfa Kojo. And on Monday, the 7th of September, I present to you your next member of parliament for Tobago West, none other than Shamfa Kojo.
Show me your flags. Here we go. Rocky boy, coming to Beverly. Iron and hand from my 1919 and back again, we didn't leave it for back then. They say, I love me rock my shit. I'm ready to break quick. I can't wait for two days to my starting today. They say, I come in to the morning. I ain't hard from my beating. I come in to the going forward. I ain't the one. Sing it out. Sing it out. It's calling. What's up with the sexy cutie right on there? We on the move so fast. Whoa! Are you coming? Show me around. When everywhere on there, to my shop the place. When everywhere on there, to my shop the place. Oh, spread your hand in the air, everybody. We hustling, we working a 9 to 5, trying to compete at just one day. We feel like no break way. Whatever, show me around. Spread the hand in the air, everybody. Hand in the air. Sing it low, sing with me. Do your thing. Spread your wings. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Spread your wings. Do your thing. I say in a bang time, drop it on white line. All in the night time, until we see sunshine. From Sunday to Sunday, fact me fetching holiday. When we come to the way, so much of the best. Hands on leg. Spread your hand in the air, everybody. Hands on leg. Hand in the air. Let me do it, 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 let me do it again. Let me move it, 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 let me move it again. Jump and spread out your hand and we're like the mountain, yeah. Throw your sets away. Throw your sets away. Okay. Do it, let me 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 do it again. Let me move it, 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 let me move it again. Jump and spread out your hand and we're like the mountain, yeah. Throw your sets away. Throw your sets away. On time, we hustle on the grind. We working at 9 to 5, trying to stay alive. From Monday and
More of the
Tuesday.
candidates presenting themselves here at the largest political gathering ever in Trinidad and Tobago here at the Eddie Hart Grounds, Takariga. Right now joined by Clarence Ramrad, who is going up for the Mayaro seat, the PNM's candidate for Mayaro. Mr. Ramrad, I want to ask you about your personal goals for Mayaro, for the constituency. I understand you have your own manifesto and plans for Mayaro.
Well, I've released a manifesto called More for Mayaro, and it is built on the number one goal of improving Mayaro, bringing jobs to Mayaro, bringing stability, and most importantly, giving Mayaro youth a brighter future.
Now, other than that, it was announced that with the help of the voters, making Keith Rowley the Prime Minister of our beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago, you will be the Minister of Agriculture. What are your plans for the agricultural sector in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, the first thing we must realize is that rural economies, while GDP in Trinidad, agriculture contributes less than 1%. In rural economies like Toko Sangre Grande, Komoto Manzanilla, Mayaro, Moruga, agriculture contributes more than 50% to the economies. So it is important that we do what the farmers have asked us to do for a long time. We need to give them security of tenure. We need to give them the subsidies. We need to make the administration of the benefits to agriculture a little faster, bring it to the farmers. We need to introduce agro-processing where agriculture is being undertaken. We need to brand, we need to package, we need to build a sustainable future for the agriculture, for the farming community in this country. Most importantly, we need to promote local food, and we need to put local food into school feeding.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clarence Rambarat. Now it's time to head back to the stage right here at Etihad Grounds, Tacarigua.
Thank you very much.
Ay, 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 la baby
everywhere. So we're gonna have to do this chant. It's the best chant. Are we red and ready? Are we red and ready? All right, guys. Up next, we're gonna have a presenter.
In Eddie Hearts, everyone here is red and ready. You all at home, I hope you are red and ready as well. Do not take it for granted. Go out on Monday morning and vote, vote, vote. Remember, you don't necessarily need your polling card. Even if your ID is expired, you can still go because there are a list of all the people that are registered to vote in the separate constituencies with pictures of their faces next to their names. So go out, people, and put that X by the Balazi, the People's National Movement.
Definitely. And Trinidad and Tobago, you know, we all know, we have been here for the past 5 years and we know the trauma that this country has been feeling under this People's Partnership Administration. And sometimes it felt as though the tension and the trauma, it was so thick you could almost cut it with a knife. I mean, just as the population would be trying to get over one trauma, they will hit us with something else. And whenever we thought that they couldn't do any worse, something worse would actually happen. And it's now Trinidad and Tobago, this is your opportunity. Your opportunity is here to make a change, to do what is right for your country, to take Trinidad and Tobago back on the road to sustainable development and good governance. Trinidad and Tobago needs you now more than ever. And you may think that your vote doesn't matter, but it actually does. And we're going to go stateside now to take in some more of the excitement. Let's join them stateside.
Hey, Kamla! If you love the PNM, somebody scream! Let's do that! Hey! Put your hands in the air! Let me go! Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. You put water in my eye. Let me put your hands in the air! Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. You say you have a plan, but you can't say who is Christian. Bye-bye, Kamla. Everybody, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands in the air. Let's go. I want to hear you singing. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Louder. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Struggling to pick a slate, scraping up candidates. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Show me the bye-bye. Hey, it looked like you in trouble. Just back up the daddy bun. Put your hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hey. Everybody, show me the hands in the air. Let's go. Hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Sing. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. In the comp station, you manage Bracken's castration. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. You wanna take a seat for the free 8,000 after SOE. Bye, Kamla. Bye. Hey. Anybody from Granby? I'm telling you, man. Let's sing. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Listen, he take 2 puff into 400 million. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Stephen is get through the back door cause of section 34. Bye-bye, Kamla. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kamla. Everybody put your hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air right now. Put your hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air right now. Put your hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air right now. Anybody from Trinidad? Higher, higher. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Well, let's see it. Sing. Bye-bye, Kamla, bye-bye. Watch it! Bye-bye, Kamla, bye-bye. Millions missing for I thought they still got him no report. Bye-bye, Kamla, bye-bye.
Feeling it in my heart.
Bye-bye, Kamla, bye-bye.
I'm feeling the pain.
You say she when she rain, then moon is giving down. Bye-bye, watch it!
Etihad Grounds is red and ready, and we definitely hope that you are as well. If you're just joining us, we are here at the People's National Movement's final rally before the 2015 general election on Monday, where we are witnessing the biggest gathering of people ever in a political rally in Trinidad and Tobago.
And we're dubbing it the Red Rally. It's the Red Rally. Tacarigua, Etihad, Savannah is covered with red right now. The people are so energized and excited, and I can't help but think that if they keep this energy up, Monday is gonna be, oh my God, I don't want to think about it. But the atmosphere here is really wonderful. I'm enjoying myself to the fullest, even though I'm not in the thick of the crowd. And I think we had a few shots of the crowd earlier, and you would see the massive amount of people gathered here this evening. And it's all about the People's National Movement's Red Rally. We're ready. We're ready. Let's do this together.
Together, definitely. Now, a lot of people have stayed away from speaking about it and actually saying it. But Dr. Keith Rowley is truly the right leader at the right time.
That's right. That's
For
right.
you, Arlene, why would you say he's the right leader at the right time?
Because let's take the time first. These are times in Trinidad and Tobago where we're facing peril. Our economy is contracting. We're almost at a crisis situation right now. Oil prices are plummeting, and so are gas prices. And we need to have a leader in place who would understand what needs to be done to ensure that we have a future to look forward to. Squandermania, massive corruption, irresponsibility cannot fly at this time. And so when we talk about the leader, that is the type of leader Dr. Rowley is. He's not gonna stand by and facilitate corruption. He's not going to stand by and look at Trinidad and Tobago go to hell in a handbasket. So that's why we say the right leader at the right time. And Trinidad and Tobago, come Monday the 7th, you need to do your part to ensure that the right leader is taking Trinidad and Tobago forward. He can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. Hans, you can't do it alone. We all need to do our part, each and every one of us. We must decide that we have to go out and vote. Being undecided is not an option. Spoiling a ballot is not an option. Trinidad and Tobago needs you to be responsible. Trinidad and Tobago needs you to do the right thing. Go and put your eggs firmly by the Balize come Monday 7th.
But added to that, Arlene, I must say, a lot of people have said over and over that it's the same old faces in politics. We must have the experience, but the PNM has welcomed the new faces. Dr. Rowley, in particular, has welcomed the new faces, and a leader that would open himself up to invite, even from the local government level, where we saw new councillors come to the front line, like councillors like Kwesi Robinson, councillors under 30, councillors under 25, making their way and representing.
You know, Hans, Trinidad and Tobago has made a massive investment as far as education goes for young people. The GATE program, which came about under the People's National Movement, is a program that has facilitated the education of thousands and thousands of young people and not so young people as well. So we could not have made such an investment in our young people and then not use them and harness their education and their talents in order that Trinidad and Tobago can move forward. And that is what Dr. Rowley sees. It's really a return in the investment made in these young people.
Well, let's get ready to head to the stage. We're getting ready for the intro to Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. And what I like about the prelude to him coming on the stage, is it tells a story of a man that came from a community where he walked to school with no shoes.
With no shoes, yes.
A man that worked his way up to being a doctor.
And Hans, it all ties back to education, because education is what took Dr. Rowley out of Mason Hall, coming from less than, well, humble beginnings, going to school bare feet, took him out of that and brought him here at the pinnacle of his career, and now with the opportunity to lead Trinidad and Tobago forward, education. And that is what we all have to understand, our young people need to understand, and that is why education is so important to the People's National Movement. Education is the key that will open any door and will take you out of any situation. It's able to change your situation, change your circumstances, and Dr. Rowley is the personification of that message.
All right, well, Trinidad and Tobago and the world over, we are here at the PNM's final rally before the general election 2015. We head to the stage as we get ready for Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley.
Let's go.
Look trouble now.
PNM! Are you ready? The time is finally here. Are you ready to say hello, Rowley? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nisa Pear, and I come to you as a daughter of the soil, a woman who is proud to exercise her right, your right, to vote on Monday. And I encourage all of you, invite your friends, your neighbors, your brothers, invite them to join us as we move toward PNM country on Monday. Invite them to vote. This is the third time that I will have the honor to introduce Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley to an audience on this amazing journey for a nation eager for hope, a nation eager for change, a nation eager for dignity, eager for the right way forward at this, the right time. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, neighbors, brothers, sisters, my task is the easiest task anyone has had here today, because nobody in Trinidad and Tobago needs an introduction to this man. Ladies and gentlemen, we know Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. We know that he's a volcanologist, a PhD in geochemistry. We know that he's the longest serving member of Parliament, our Parliament. We know that he has represented Diggle Martin West for 6 consecutive terms. We know that he is a father, a loving husband and grandfather. We know that he's one of the original authors of Vision 2020. And as great as it is, we know that he has reshaped and modernized this People's National Movement, making it even greater. Ladies and gentlemen, but we have seen Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley attacked. We have seen his family attacked. We have seen his party, your party, attacked. And we have seen the citizens of our democracy and our own country under attack. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what? We have also seen him fight. We have seen him fight for dignity, and most importantly, with dignity. We have seen him fight for democracy. We have seen him fight for good governance, fight against corruption, fight against nonsense and pure bacchanal. And in all of his fights, most importantly, we have seen him fight for us. This is my third time introducing Dr. Rowley, the man that will do this. But this is also the last time that I or anyone, anywhere, will introduce Dr. Rowley as the leader of the opposition. This is the last time that anyone, anywhere, will introduce him as anything other than the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the historic and singular honor to introduce you to Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, candidate for Diggle Martin West. And ladies and gentlemen, who is he? the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you. PNM, red and ready. Well, let's do this. Come September 7th. That sounds far away. Come Monday morning. Let's do this. Party Chairman, Mr. Franklin Khan, party officers, fellow citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, particularly those of you who've come out here in your tens of thousands. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We must thank Almighty God for the beautiful weather that we've enjoyed today and for bringing so many of you out to express your intention to intervene on Monday in defense of Trinidad and Tobago. In defense of yourselves, in defense of your children and your children's children. This is your opportunity. It has been a long and grueling campaign, but two things can be said about the campaign. One is that the PNM in our 60th year have come to you across our country, from Tobago to Moruga, from Carnage to Couva, presenting to you 41 candidates who have offered themselves in full public view, asking for your franchise, confident that you will support our organization and you'll identify yourself to take responsibility for the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago. On the other hand, there are others who have hidden from you. They hide themselves from you. They would like to hide their record from you. And now this Sunday evening, you have yet to see them. Election is Monday morning. So you ask yourself, who would you trust? I have every confidence that across Trinidad and Tobago, our people will trust the People's National Movement. During this election campaign, we have raised a number of issues, some very serious, some very present, and some as we look towards the future. In one case, we've asked the government minister if he was the person who was found guilty by his own admission to have attempted to defraud the state of the customs, and his answer was, "I can't answer, you have to ask my lawyer." We've asked the Prime Minister a number of very pertinent questions, and she has refused to answer. I have said to you before, it is important for us as a people to understand that when a minister of government speaks to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, what the minister says to you must mean something. Whether you agree or not, it must mean something, and that something must be the truth. Today, the biggest issue in front of us now that we have reached this point is the state of the country's economy. As I speak to you now, there are thousands of pensioners who have not got their pension. Today, there was one pensioner calling in on the radio and crying on the radio that she has not received her government pension for 2 months and she cannot buy food. She is now made destitute by the actions of this government. There are public officials who have not been paid, and the government has been running up bills across this country and they are not being paid. We have been saying to you from the PNM platform that our economy has been stagnant. The government has been saying otherwise. We thought the economy was stagnant. It is worse. It is worse. And of course, let me read for you what the Minister of Finance said to us last week. The Minister of Finance said to us last week, in response to our concerns about the economy and ministers not speaking the truth to the people of Trinidad and Tobago about very serious matters, Minister Larry Hawaii said this to us. He said, and I'm quoting him here, "We expected a deficit of 4 billion, but we only recorded a deficit of 1 billion, meaning that we've only spent 1 billion more than we earned as against spending 4 billion more." Today it has been published from the Central Bank Bulletin that the Minister of Finance once again has lied to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. While the minister was telling us a few days ago that the deficit is down to 1 billion, listen to what the Central Bank Bulletin is saying to us today. The country's overall deficit has doubled from 1 billion to 2.17 billion. So the Minister of Finance was telling us that the deficit has been reduced from 4 billion to 1 billion. But while he was telling us that, the real deficit was known to him to be $2.17 billion. The Minister of Finance said to us, in response to our known information that oil price has collapsed, that gas price has collapsed, our Minister of Finance said to us a few days ago, despite falling energy prices, Trinidad and Tobago's economy has continued to show positive growth. I want to repeat that. The Minister of Finance said to us a few days ago that despite falling oil and gas prices, our economy has continued to show positive growth. Today, the Central Bank Economic Bulletin has shown that not only did our economy not grow, not only didn't stay stagnant, but the economy has declined by 1.2% and has been in recession for the last quarter. So in other words, while the government was telling you that everything was all right, Trinidad and Tobago was going to hell in a handbasket. The Minister of Finance was boasting to us that our foreign reserves have been growing and it's at $11.3 billion. Today, the central bank reports that we are $1 billion less than that. And of course, the deficit growth when we started out for the year was 8.3%. They are telling us today that if the Minister of Finance continues to remain in office, our deficit will grow. Our reserves, rather than be almost 9% of GDP, will fall to 5%. In short, Ms. Bissessa has a plan. Kamla Prasad Bissessa and Larry Hawaii, they have a plan. And the plan is to bankrupt Trinidad and Tobago. Today is Saturday. Election is Monday morning. I am appealing to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago to intervene on Monday and save Trinidad and Tobago from Larry Hawaii and Kamla Prasad Bissessa. Because if the Minister of Finance of our country could be so bold-faced to come and tell you such unvarnished lies about the state of the economy, and you have an election in front of you, what are you doing considering him as minister or anything on Tuesday morning? And the numbers I just gave you there are the numbers up to April. Between April and now, it has got worse. And when they were talking in June and July and August and September, they knew that by the end of April, that was our state of affairs. But rather than tell you the truth, they tell you they want another 5 years. They are all about being re-elected to office on this PNM platform, in this Red Army, in this country. What we are about is saving Trinidad and Tobago. Throughout the campaign, I have been very upfront with you. I have said to you, our people, that there are difficult days ahead. There are difficult days ahead. But in those circumstances, we all have to be responsible. We all have to be in this together. We have to have the correct numbers and we respond to the situation. If you don't feel well, you don't go about playing the fittest person in the world. If you are sick, you want to know the nature of your illness. That is why you go to a doctor. And the doctor looks at your condition and he makes a diagnosis. The intention of that diagnosis is to treat with your ailment to bring you back to good health. If you lie to your doctor, there is a good chance that your doctor might prescribe the wrong medicine for you. And your chance of getting better has only become worse and you might be killing yourself. These people have been lying to us, and of course, any prescription they give us have a chance of killing us rather than curing us. I've said to you before and I'll repeat it here today. Any government that comes in on Monday, Tuesday morning will meet a mountain of recent debt incurred by this government that falls to be paid in the next few months. They knew the economy was contracting. They were spending like mad, expecting that when the election is called, if they win on Monday, too bad for you, they win already. And if they lose on Monday, too bad for the next government, they're gone and they leave it for the next government. That has been their attitude. You would have seen the hundreds of millions of dollars being spent by state companies while the country is heading to bankruptcy. You would have seen the difficulty they had in choosing candidates because they are not about getting the best and most appropriate person. They are about making deals. They are about negotiating among themselves, talking to themselves, enriching themselves. We of the PNM are saying to you that we bring you reform in local government. We bring you reform with respect to your payment of taxes. We bring you reform in your parliament. We bring you reform with the cabinet. We bring you reform with respect to agencies that will ensure that as you spend money, you get better value and you do not encourage corruption from the level of the cabinet and seeps down to the rest of the country. We have said to you that we reject this government's offering that all of us in Trinidad and Tobago are corrupt, and therefore corruption must be the order of the day. We've said to you the issues in this election are about corruption, about competence, and about crime. Those three C's. This government came into office in 2010, and as of this day, same day in 2010, there were 290 murders. Today, there are 291. So in the 5-year period, you have seen no change, no significant change in the crime wave in Trinidad and Tobago. The government has dismantled our national security system. They have put nothing in place to replace it. Come Tuesday morning, that will be the #1 priority of the PNM government of Trinidad and Tobago, securing the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It starts with the appointment of a proper national security minister. And it starts with that minister focusing on the police, information gathering, and all the security agencies. And it talks about our streets. It talks about your neighborhoods, bringing security into your backyard and into your corporations. Those who have lived by making contracts left, right, and center, causing you to be paying 3 and 4 times the price. It starts with an arrangement where this government is not being run by contractors. Public servants who are supposed to be carrying out the regulations, protecting you from a rampant government. Come Tuesday morning, public servants will be respected and they will once again become defenders of the public purse. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come a long way. We survived a lot. Young people, I'm saying to you again, this election is about you. Because those who are no longer classified as young people, they would have already got from this country what this country had to offer to bring them from the cradle to youth. It is those of you young people who are depending on this country to provide you with an opportunity, to provide you with a chance, to provide you with a case where you can come forward and work according to your qualification and make openings for you. What they promise you? They promise you that they will keep people on in the job until they're 75. And you, the young ones who are qualified, you can't move up into the system because those who are there will get an extension on their time. The PNM does not support that position. We believe that where we should be going in this country is making space, making way for our young people to come forward and take responsibility for this country. Our commitment to the young people is not just lip service. I have fought 3 elections so far. As we fought the Tobago election, I said in Tobago, young people come forward and take responsibility for Tobago. And they've done that. And young people are today, under the guidance of Orville London, they have taken responsibility for Tobago. In the local government election, I said to you again, young people, come forward and take responsibility for this country. And you came forward in your numbers. And today, across this country at local government, the PNM has put people in authority. The reform in local government will give them the chance to function like no other persons have functioned before, because we are giving local government more authority and more responsibility. In the face of that kind of reform, All our opponents could do is to talk foolishness and try to create fear in the minds of employees at local government, trying to tell them that if we reform local government, it will result in a loss of jobs. I want to say to you here tonight, across Trinidad, reforming local government, making local government more responsible, giving them more money, giving them more duties, can in no way create a loss of jobs. It creates additional opportunity and the need for more skills. But since they didn't tell you that they will do that, they have to badmouth it. They now resort to fear. I'm saying to the young people of this country, while there are difficult days ahead, the days are also very exciting. Because it is how you treat with the challenges of life that you will determine how good you were in your life and what quality of life you've ended up with. Challenges will always be there, but it's how you respond to those challenges. We have responded to challenges before. And when you have challenges, you want competent people. You don't want the same people who got us where we are today on Tuesday morning to try and get us out. Because if they could have got us out before, they wouldn't be lying to us now. I want to ask Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, if the person didn't ask you a question a day or two ago about Rashmi Ramnarayan, would we ever have had an apology from you for Rashmi Ramnarayan? And she seems to forget that when we raised it as bad governance, as nepotism and worse, her response then was to accuse me of racism. Her response then was to accuse me of not liking young women, of not liking young people. And of course today, she's sorry. Well, Mrs. Kabla Prasad Bisesa, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry for you. And while we are at that, the question that we have to ask, what else are you sorry for? Because there's so much that they've done wrong. When they came into office, they met this country with a good chance of going forward on a sound foundation. They have tampered with the foundation. Today, our foreign exchange management is a disaster. If you want $5 in the bank now, you know you're not going to get it because they have destroyed the management of foreign exchange in Trinidad and Tobago. And that will only improve when a new government comes into office, like the PNM is coming into office, bringing new people, honest people, people who are committed to the country and not to themselves, to bring back confidence in Trinidad and Tobago, bring back confidence into our community, bring back confidence into our banking system, and bring back confidence in ourselves. This last 5 years has shaken us to our core. It has questioned our confidence as a people. Is it because we are now to accept that we are weak, we're incompetent, we're disrespectful, and we are also corrupt? We have been downgraded by Moody's with respect to the mismanagement of our affairs. We have been downgraded by the American agencies with respect to human trafficking. We are downgraded in the city of Port of Spain. Our capital city is now fast becoming a dump. And on our roads, we can hardly move because we are in gridlock. They offer us no solution. They offer us no opportunity to believe that there's some day in the near future that these problems can be solved. I can tell you tonight without fear of contradiction that after 5 years and 5 record budgets, this outgoing government has not solved one of our existing problems in this country. Instead of solving a problem, they have created many problems. And now they're telling you, imagine they're telling me and telling the PNM that their claim to fame is that they are house builders and they're about building houses. In 2007, when I was Minister of Housing, The PNM ran a general election on the housing program alone and won 27 seats because the whole country then understood that there was a major housing problem underway under the PNM. And we don't need these jokers to hold out housing to you as any area of competence. What they have done though, they have had people who they've handed house keys to. And those persons have not yet been assessed as to their ability to pay for the houses. Come Tuesday morning, the assessment will take place. And only then will they know if they can afford the house that they have been offered the key for. And that is the kind of duplicity and deception associated with them. But we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We as a society have to say, whatever we have in this country to share, we all in this together. And the first call has to go to those who are least able to look after themselves. And the role of the government is not to thief out the treasury, is not to enjoy its friends and to make its friends multimillionaires. We in the PNM, we know lawyers too. We've been in government for many, many years. We have never made a career of making lawyers multimillionaires at taxpayers' expense. And this government has no shame. No shame. The same names over and over and over. There's one particular lawyer who is on a criminal investigation for alleged criminal conduct. But when the government wants a lawyer, he is the first man they call. Because the government makes no distinction between criminality and good behavior. We have to accept as a people that there's good and there's bad. There's right and there's wrong. And if something is not right, we cannot advance it as our way of life. Otherwise, very soon, our society will disintegrate. Will disintegrate. The government has encouraged a behavior where the fabric of our society is being questioned, is being threatened. One of the most divisive persons in the country who speak only about race gets encouragement from the Prime Minister telling him to talk your racism. Rather than object to it in our society, they get national award and exhortation to talk. We are saying the biggest legacy that the PNM has left this country is racial solidarity, interracial solidarity, and respect for one another. This government threatens that by encouraging the wrong kinds of behavior. On Monday, it's not going to be the government. Big and bad as they are, they each have one vote. One vote. What is going to happen on Monday is that the society of Trinidad and Tobago will be on trial. It's all about what we accept and what we condone. We know enough about what has gone on in our country under this administration, and the question to you on Monday, do you accept it? Do you condone it? Or do you reject it? I appeal to the people of Trinidad and Tobago today. Today, the 5th of September 2015, I appeal to you to reject out of hand what this government is holding out to us as the country we want, as against the country we have. This is what they've brought us to, where our confidence in ourselves being shaken, and we don't trust our neighbors because we don't know if our neighbors are subscribing to the same eater food behavior too. Let us reject that. Let us go back to our fundamental principles of being our brother's keeper and understanding that if we have to take a stand, we take a stand based on fundamental principles of right and wrong and decency as against indecency. Sometimes it's the small things that matter most. And right now in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of small things are mattering to us. Our economy needs the attention of people who are prepared to look at it and make the best of whatever situation is in front of us. As I speak to you now, we cannot from the opposition say that we have a very clear picture of the country's numbers, because the government has deliberately ensured that the statistics of the country are not available to the public. And what vestige of information exists, they have been giving instructions to staff to not make the information available to the public. The only people right now who know exactly what they have done and how bad it is the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And they are on their way out of office on Monday night. I just quoted for you the public disgrace of the Minister of Finance. And I'm giving you the assurance tonight that under my stewardship, under my management, in a cabinet which I would lead, no minister of government in Trinidad and Tobago would be allowed to so lie to the public or to lie to the public at all and hold on to office. I could tonight, on the basis of what has happened to the Ministry of Finance, I could tonight call for the resignation of the Minister of Finance, but I wouldn't waste my breath. You will fire him on Monday. You will fire him on Monday. And you will fire the person who hired him on Monday. And you will also fire him for the $10 million when you see him on Monday. Because if it is bad in the morning, it will only get worse in the evening. We saw them with the $10 million payment. He started off on the wrong foot. And today, when there is not another working day in the life of this government, the Minister of Finance couldn't be so disgraced. It would have been bad enough if he was the only one. But there are others. There are many more. But there is relief. There's relief. We still, in our country, take part in free and fair elections. And I want you to ignore all those who have filled their stomachs and with their overextended stomachs extending into their brains, they're telling you now to go to the polling station and spoil your vote. Well, I want you to reject all of them, dismiss them, and come out on Monday, September 7th, and cast your ballot as is your right under the Constitution. Imagine all over the world, people have laid down their lives for the opportunity to cast a vote. There are people all over the world today who would love to be able to cast a vote. And we here in Trinidad and Tobago being invited by charlatans to spoil our ballot because they realize that the die is cast. They realize that we've come to the end. We have fought an election campaign. Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa came into office as political leader, head of the UNC. When last have you heard her mention the name UNC? She is now masquerading under some new amalgam that she has created. When you go to the polls on Monday, I guarantee you that you will see no candidate with the name People's Partnership. You will see the UNC and you will see the PNM on the ballot paper, and I want you to ram the X next to the Balize. They think that we are all stupid. So you will campaign for 3 months on something called People's Partnership and a party called Kamla Coattail, and then go into the polling station and vote for UNC. If the UNC was worthy of your vote, why didn't UNC candidates come out to you and say, like our candidates have come here and said, that I am running for the UNC, I am proud? No, they hide themselves. Have you seen Rambachan yet? Have you seen Botiwari yet? Have you seen Ganga Singh yet? Have you seen Munilal yet? But they are the ones who will run the country if you put your X anywhere else except the Balize. But with us in the PNM, we have modernized our party. We have reviewed our policies and programs. We have a clear work program. We have a clear pathway to deal with good times and bad, fair weather and foul. And we have people that you can trust. Every PNM candidate is someone who was properly screened under our constitution. We didn't meet in anybody's back room, in any restaurant back room and make a deal. We are the PNM. And in Trinidad and Tobago, that means stability. It means morality in public affairs. And it means commitment to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So the campaign is over. Many of you here would have taken part in our outdoor activities. I want to thank you very sincerely for giving us that moral support and the physical support and sustenance. I want, as political leader, to extend my sincerest thanks to the executive of the PNM led by Chairman Franklin Khan. And I want to extend my sincerest thanks to the campaign manager, Mr. Rohan Sinanan, and his team for running what is in effect the best election campaign ever run in Trinidad and Tobago in recent times. What you have seen as our campaign is an indication of our ability to run the country, because our campaign is a campaign where we brought in talent and we let our talent flow freely. You will be amazed to see who was in the back room volunteering for the PNM and generating this exciting campaign. This country is full of talent on the playing field, in the offices, and in the campaign. The PNM harvests all that talent. And all I can do is give thanks. And I want to give thanks to one other person. I want to give thanks to some other people. The people in my household, my wife Sharon and my daughters and all my family. Because without them, I couldn't make it. Without them, I wouldn't have made it. I'm the luckiest man in Trinidad and Tobago. And as I say to you all, I don't feel that I've worked too hard. This country has been good to me, and I owe this country one, and I intend to pay it back with great dividends. I hope you've enjoyed this rally and you'll get home safely. And you will also remember what Orville London told you. It's not enough just to come to the rally. It's not enough just to wear your jersey. You also have to be a soldier in the Red Army and bring out the vote on Monday. Bring out the vote. Bring out your friends. Bring out your family. Bring out your neighbors. Bring out all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Tell them, let's go. Let's go do this together. Let's go save Trinidad and Tobago. And when you would have done that, by this time next Monday, the polling stations would have been closed. The die would have been cast. And it would be too late for them. And the votes would have been counted. And an hour later than now, we'll begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And by 10 o'clock on Monday night, we will know that the PNM had won the election and we have saved Trinidad and Tobago. And then we say, with one voice, one people, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, Great is Trinidad and Tobago, and we have prevailed. Let's do this together.
Yo, 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 yo.
Let's do this now. Here he stands, side by side. New direction, vision and pride.
Final rally for the People's National Movement before we head to the polls on Monday. You heard from the political leader, the man with your help that can be the next Prime Minister of our Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. You saw 41 candidates representing our respective constituencies with a right mix of people of different ages, races, genders, and even industrial experience.
Yes, Trinidad and Tobago, that is your winning team. That is the team that is going to take us back to good governance from September the 7th, but it is all up to you. Poll card or no poll card, get yourself out in your numbers, take your friends, take your family, take your acquaintances, take your neighbors, go out and vote and make sure you bring home the victory for the winning team, the right leader, the right time, Dr. Keith Rowley and the People's National Movement.
I'm Hans Devines. This is Arlene Gorin George. Remember, on Monday, let's do this together.